Good Morning Maryland begins now with breaking news.
Good morning. Sparks, thunderous sounds, and flames. We're not talking about a fireworks display. We're talking about an underground fire that's causing trouble for hotel guests in downtown Baltimore.
Also this morning, if you've got parking tickets that are overdue in Baltimore City, now is the time to act. Got a program running right now that would let you avoid extra fees, but it only runs for a short time.
Just about 6 o'clock. Good morning, Maryland. So much to get to this morning, but first I want to welcome you in. I'm Ashley James.
And I'm Christian Schaefer. Thanks so much for waking up with us. We do have about 4 breaking news stories that we're following right now. I think we'll get to that in a moment. First, so let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Lynette Charles for a look at what we can expect on this busy day. Good morning, Lynette.
Good morning, guys. So at least the weather department this morning is on the quiet side, but in the evening, we'll start to get some rain in here, guys. And we actually do need that rain, so that's definitely some good news. If you like the milder temperatures, I have those for today. But if you like the colder temperatures, they will be back tomorrow. The radar right now is on the dry side of things, and this is what we look like with weather alerts. So we actually do have one. This will be expiring around 7 o'clock this morning. It's for Anne Arundel County. It's a coastal flood advisory. And temperatures this morning, warmer than what we were yesterday, or I should say not as cold, because it still is chilly/cold out there this morning, especially with the winds. We do have a light breeze out of the southwest at about 5 to 15 miles an hour, making those 30s and that 41 feel more like 30 in Thurmont, and elsewhere more like the 20s. So you do want to still bundle up as you head out and about. And then as we go through the rest of today, high temperatures will make it up to the upper 40s to low 50s, and we will stay pretty much in the clouds all day, waiting for that rain to roll in this evening around 7 o'clock. Let's get a check of the traffic now with Lauren.
We continue to follow breaking news in downtown Baltimore, where an underground fire has shut down East Redwood Street. It's under a hotel between Charles Street and Light Street. Again, avoid Redwood Street. It will be shut down for an extended period of time. You need to take Lombard Street or Fayette Street instead. Also avoid Charles Street. Take Calvert Street if you are traveling northbound. Several roads will be affected in the area. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the very latest developments. To make matters worse, there's another fire in Baltimore. It has been brought to a 2-alarm on Brunt Street between Pressman Street and Bloom Street. If you're traveling near the harbor, the dive team has been requested. There were reports of a person in the water on East Pratt Street, right near the Barnes & Noble. So follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for updates. There's a serious crash just reported in Howard County. It's in Jessup, Washington Boulevard near Assateague Drive. And if you're taking the Harrisburg Expressway, there's an accident southbound right near Warren Road. Fortunately, it doesn't appear to be causing any big backups at the moment. Ashley, Christian?
Okay, Lauren, thanks very much. We are continuing to follow that breaking news this morning. Crews remain on the scene of a fire underground right in the middle of downtown Baltimore.
It's on East Redwood Street, not far from the Royal Farms Arena. A busy area out there. ABC 2 News' Cassie Carlisle's live at the scene for us. Cassie, what are you seeing where you are?
Yeah, good morning. We're not seeing as much right now, which is a good thing, because that means that the fire crews do have a handle on the scene right now. We've got 2 fire trucks here. We're at the intersection of Charles and Lombard, right before Redwood Street, which is where this is going on. Take a listen to what we heard when we first pulled up about a half hour ago. Thunderous booms that you could feel in your feet and in your chest, and it was just like fireworks. We saw the sparks and the flames shooting up through that manhole cover. Now, there are no evacuations in the area, but there are concerns for Delta Hotel guests who are experiencing some trouble with carbon monoxide in that hotel because of this electrical fire. Right now, the fire is isolated underground in that area, though I am a little concerned. They have backed us up about 2 blocks from where we were, and I'm starting to see some smoke come up from a manhole cover that's over by us, which is why they backed us up. So I'll be talking with fire officials in a few minutes about that. This whole area is going to be shut down through the rush hour, so listen to Lauren this morning, you guys, for your detours. Reporting live in downtown Baltimore, Cassie Carlisle, ABC 2 News.
Okay, Cassie, thanks very much. So yeah, Charles and Redwood, but it's going to affect streets all over there as well. And that fire, that is not even the only thing that's happening right now in Baltimore City.
It's a busy morning. There's another fire, as well as a shooting and a water rescue. ABC 2 News' Megan Knight is live in the newsroom with more on these breaking news stories. Megan?
Well, Ashley, yeah, a lot going on, and all of this really happening within the last half hour to 45 minutes. Fire crews on the scene of that 2-alarm house fire in West Baltimore, right on Brunt Street near Pressman Street. So far, we haven't heard if anyone has been injured in that fire, nor exactly how that fire started. Also, Baltimore police investigating a shooting in East Baltimore. This is right between Lafayette Street and North Avenue on Milton Street. We don't know how many people have been shot or their conditions at this time. And then at the Inner Harbor, you've got the dive teams there working to pull somebody who reportedly fell into the water there. That right along East Pratt Street near Gay Street and Marketplace. So we have got a lot going on that we are keeping track of and working to get the latest information on. You can follow us on Twitter at ABC2 News to get updates on these stories, plus that story that you saw Cassie Carlisle just talking about, that underground fire near the Delta Hotel. By the way, we've just tweeted out that video that Cassie was talking about, those sparks popping off underneath that manhole. There's some pretty incredible video. Again, you're going to want to find that on our Twitter account at ABC2 News. Christian, Ashley?
Really is incredible video.
Sure is.
All right, well, starting today, the city of Baltimore is giving drivers a break for giving late fees on unpaid parking tickets.
It's all part of what the city's calling an amnesty program, but it does not last very long. ABC2 News' Chanel Perriman is live for us this morning in Hamden. Chanel, the city hasn't done something like this in more than a decade.
Yes, Christian, this is the first time in 15 years the city has done anything like this. As you mentioned, we're here at the Avenue where plenty of people are probably guilty about getting those parking tickets. Well, get this, now you'll be able to just pay off that ticket and not have to worry about the late fees. This program is just for 2 days only, today and tomorrow. And right now, there are about 500,000 unpaid parking tickets right here in Baltimore. Now, if you are looking to take advantage of this, you'll be able to pay online, by phone, or by mail. Back in 2003, the last time the city had this program, about 1/3 of those unpaid parking tickets cashed in on this deal, and the city was able to make about $3.9 million in revenue. While this will help you avoid paying those late fees, this program doesn't cover all penalties.
The amnesty will not cover any fees assessed for bad checks, towing or booting, or lot storage for impounded vehicles. So what is included is merely the face value of unpaid citations.
And this will only happen just for today and tomorrow, just 2 days, so you're going to want to take advantage of this. For more information on this program, visit our website at abc2news.com. Live in Hamden, Chanel Perriman, ABC2 News.
All right, Chanel, thank you. A 14-year-old girl goes missing, and now her family and Baltimore County Police are searching for her. Charisma Johnson last spoke to her mother around 2:30 p.m. yesterday. She has brown hair and brown eyes. She was last seen wearing a plaid shirt, dark blue jeans, and brown Ugg boots. Police are worried about her welfare because of her medical conditions. Call police if you know where she might be. Lauren?
Breaking news in Baltimore, where there is an underground fire. It shuts down East Redwood Street. It's closed between Charles Street and Light Street and will be shut down for an extended period of time. So you need to take Lombard Street or Fayette Street. Heavy delays in the area, so leave yourself extra time. Charles Street, I'm sure that will be heavily congested as well, so you can take Calvert Street instead. There's also a fire on Brunt Street. It has been brought to 2 alarms. It's between Pressman Street and Bloom Street. Follow the detours that are in place. If you're traveling near the harbor, the dive team has been requested for a person reportedly in the water. This is on East Pratt Street, right near the Barnes & Noble, between Gay Street and Marketplace. For those of you in Baltimore County, there's a crash on the Harrisburg Expressway. It's southbound near Warren Road, but drive times remain normal. No delays on the JFX or the Beltway. If you're heading out in Howard County, beware of an accident in Jessup, Washington Boulevard near Assateague Drive. Lynette?
All right, well, let's take a look at what's going on this morning. We'll start you off with the temperature change. We do see plenty of orange on the map this morning, right? That means that we are much warmer when compared to yesterday at this time. Actually, 23 degrees warmer at the Inner Harbor, 22 degrees warmer in Columbia, 20 in Westminster and also Annapolis, and we see another 22 up there in Aberdeen this morning. With that said, you think that you might not need that coat, right? And you still need that coat. We're also dealing with some breezy conditions out there. So the 34s and 35s that you're seeing feeling more like the 20s this morning with the wind at the south at about 5 to 15 miles an hour. So again, make sure you do have the warm coat before you head out and about for today. Do you need the umbrella? Not necessarily today, but if you're going to be staying out to this evening around 7 o'clock, that's when you will need that rain gear. Ashley, Christian?
All right, Lynette, thank you. To 6:08. You've seen the TV shows where people bid on abandoned storage units. They're searching for treasure.
That's right. Well, in Maryland, a lot of that treasure gets lost. It winds up at the comptroller's office. They have hundreds of thousands of items just sitting unclaimed in storage. Some of it might be yours. ABC2 is working for you trying to reconnect you with some of those treasures you didn't even know you had.
Plus, the secret memo criticizing the FBI and Justice Department over the Russia investigation could be made public today. This as the FBI warns against releasing it. Cecilia Vega has the very latest.
In this morning's GMA First Look, President Trump's showdown with his own FBI director could come to a head as soon as today if he releases that controversial classified memo accusing the Justice Department of political bias. But in an extraordinary public clash with the White House, the FBI warned against releasing that memo, saying officials only had a limited chance to review it and, quote, "We have grave concerns about material omissions of fact that fundamentally impact the memo's accuracy." Republicans on the House Intelligence Committee wrote the 4-page memo, and sources tell ABC News it alleges the Justice Department acted inappropriately when it obtained a surveillance warrant to spy on a Trump campaign advisor suspected of being a Russian agent. And we'll have the latest on this secret memo showdown coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Cecilia Vega, ABC News, Washington.
The day after chemo might mean a trip back to the doctor's office, just for a shot. But why go back there when you can stay home with Neulasta Onpro?
Strong chemo can put you at risk of serious infection, which could lead to hospitalizations. In a key study, Neulasta reduced the risk of infection from 17% to 1%, a 94% decrease. Applied the day of chemo, Neulasta Onpro is designed to deliver Neulasta the next day, so you can stay home. Neulasta is for certain cancer patients receiving strong chemotherapy. Do not take Neulasta if you're allergic to Neulasta or Neupogen, filgrastim. Ruptured spleen, sometimes fatal as well as serious lung problems, allergic reactions, kidney injuries, and capillary leak syndrome have occurred. Report abdominal or shoulder tip pain, trouble breathing, or allergic reactions to your doctor right away. In patients with sickle cell disorders, serious, sometimes fatal crises can occur. The most common side effect is bone and muscle ache.
So why go back there? If you'd rather be home, ask your doctor about Neulasta Onpro.
All right, we're continuing to follow that breaking news this morning. There's a fire underground right in the middle of downtown Baltimore.
And now we're hearing what that fire sounded like just a short time ago. Take a listen. Scary sound.
Like fireworks.
Yeah, it does. And this is video of the fire sparking at the unit block of East Redwood Street near Charles Street. Baltimore City Fire tell us that the fire that they're dealing with is under a hotel, and it's going to be an issue for a while. It's at the Delta Hotel. No one's been evacuated, but some guests are experiencing some trouble with carbon monoxide in that hotel because of the fire. We're going to get a live report from ABC 2 News' Cassie Carlisle coming up a little later on.
Also this morning, the NTSB remains at the scene of that deadly train crash that happened yesterday in Virginia. The train was carrying dozens of Republican lawmakers to a legislative retreat in West Virginia when it slammed into a garbage truck just outside of Charlottesville. The truck's driver died. A second person from the truck had to be flown to the hospital. No lawmakers from the train were seriously hurt. The NTSB is expecting to find the 2 data recorders from that train today. No word yet on why that garbage truck was on the train tracks. In Cecil County, a woman managed to get out of a burning home on Wednesday, but 2 cats did die in the fire. Crews were called to Cecilton Manor Drive in the Warwick area around 4 o'clock yesterday morning. The owner had just gotten home from work, saw flames shooting out from under this home. It's considered a total loss. Investigators believe that fire was caused by a broken furnace. 6:15 right now, new on Good Morning Maryland today. In fact, all month long, we're going to try to reconnect you with some lost treasures.
Yeah, right now, something of value that belongs to you could be sitting in a safe at the Maryland Comptroller's office, and maybe you just forgot all about it.
I'd be okay with that. There are 900,000 unclaimed accounts worth a total of $1 billion. There's a lot of stuff down there. So every day this month, we're going to work for you, trying to reconnect you with your property. To kick things off, how about this? We'd like to see who the owner of that is. It is a solid gold, 14-karat gold pill box. What it does is dispenses 1 pill at a time. It could be monogrammed. This item, which is valuable, along with many others on the unclaimed property list, they come from things like safe deposit boxes that are left dormant at banks for 3 or more years. And when the bank can't reach the owner, the items in it get sent to the comptroller's office along with many other items of value.
We've had a couple claims, insurance claims, insurance policies that have been a lot of money, $700,000–800,000.
$700,000–800,000 that people don't know about that they could just go and claim. Head to the website right now to check. There's an unclaimed property list on that website. Or if you recognize that pillbox, by the way, get on there and try to get your stuff back.
Yeah, it's not just stuff. Some of this is really expensive.
Some is just money.
Yeah, and tune in every morning at 6:15 to see the item of the day. It could belong to you, and you can get it back.
Yeah, and a lot of times, what they're really trying to get rid of it. They don't want to hold these things.
On to this.
They would love to get it out there to the people. Yeah, so we'll see. We're gonna be doing that all month long here on Good Morning Maryland around 6:15 in the morning.
All right, Lauren's following some breaking traffic news. Lauren, let's send it over to you now. We continue to follow an underground fire in downtown Baltimore. East Redwood Street will be shut down for an extended period of time. This is right between Charles Street and Light Street. You will need to take Lombard Street or Fayette Street. You'll even want to avoid Charles Street. Take Calvert Street as your alternate route. There's another fire in Baltimore City that has been brought to a 2 alarm. Avoid Brun Street. It's closed between Pressman Street and Bloom Street. We'll bring you the very latest developments right here on Good Morning Maryland, as well as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So follow us if you don't already. There's a crash in the city, Sturbridge Drive, right near Laurelton Avenue. No delays on 95. The JFX is clear. The Beltway free of delays. There is an accident on the Harrisburg Expressway. It has been moved to the southbound shoulder here at Warren Road, not causing any backups whatsoever. For those of you in Howard County, beware of a crash just reported on Interstate 70. It's westbound at Route 32. There's another crash involving an overturned vehicle in Jessup, Washington Boulevard, right near Assateague Drive. Stick with 95 to avoid delays. No problems right now in Anne Arundel County. Drive times are clear on Route 50 and Interstate 97. Here's Lynette with a check of the forecast.
All right, Lauren, we'll start you out with those temperatures this morning. Coming in the 30s in most spots, but you know what? We do have those winds out there, so we do feel a little chillier this morning, feeling more like the 20s, but we should be at 24 degrees now for our temperatures, and we can see that actual temperatures are in the upper 30s in some spots this morning, and even squeaking out a 40 in Annapolis this morning, 40 around Patuxent River as well. But this is what it feels like. So again, dress for these numbers in the upper 20s, the low 30s around Hamden and at the Inner Harbor. Dress for the 26 in Aberdeen and also Elkton this morning. Manchester, you're feeling like 25, and it feels like 32 in Deep Creek and 28 in OC this morning. Radar and satellite composite, not picking up a whole lot in terms of the radar department, but that satellite, oh yeah, we do have plenty of clouds around, and we will keep those clouds around even as we go through the afternoon, evening time frame, because from the clouds a little later, we will get some much needed rain coming in here that could switch to some snow, a little bit of a wintry mix as we head into tomorrow, Groundhog Day, right? So will it see its shadow or not? We'll have to wait for that. Check out high pressure. Yes, still in control of our weather. Where it's situated, continuing off towards the east, it will continue to pump in more of a southerly flow, so temperatures will bump up a bit as we go into the afternoon. So instead of being in the 40s and the low 40s at that, we will be in the upper 40s to the low 50s for today. You see the cold front back there. That cold front's going to make its way off to the east, and with that, that's where the precip will get in here. And I have to say precip because we will have a little bit of everything. We'll start off with the rain this evening and then start to switch things over as we head more towards tomorrow morning. So we could have maybe some sleet mixing in, some snow, some rain, all of that, unfortunately, just in time for your commute to work once again, just like how we had at the beginning of the work week. But this won't be sticking to the roadways because temperatures today are going to be just way too warm. But I still want you to watch out for some icy spots. Once again, just like on Tuesday, the timing of this system is what makes it so impactful. But we only have a breather on your Saturday because then by Sunday, another system works its way in here just in time for your Super Bowl, right? So if you do have those plans, be prepared for a wintry mix, some snow in the morning. And then depending upon how warm it is and if that warm air works its way in here, we could just be dealing with plain rain as the day goes on. But bottom line is that it's going to be a nasty Super Bowl day for everyone and evening. Ashley, Christian.
All right, Lynette, thank you. At 6:20, the Maryland Zoo one step closer to making history.
Another cute step. They've had another African penguin chick hatch, bringing the total number in the zoo's history to 998. This is an adorable addition to the Maryland Zoo. Just 2 chicks shy of the goal. If they make it to 1,000 this season, it will be the first zoo or aquarium anywhere in North America to hit that milestone.
Seems like we're really on a roll at the end of the year. Yep. We've slowed down a little bit, but we're almost there.
Picking back up again, more hatching. 6:20 right now. Football fans gearing up for the Super Bowl. A lot of people planning their watch party.
Now we're getting an idea of what snacks you can expect depending on where you live. Plus, if you're not that into football, there's another cute option for you. What's new at this year's Puppy Bowl? That's coming up after the break.
From Mrs. Zimmerman's kindergarten class at Homestead Wakefield, we say,
Good morning, Maryland! Good morning.
Got a little bonus good morning on that. Good morning,
that.
Maryland shout out. Thanks so much. And good morning to Homestead Wakefield Elementary School. ABC 2 News' Lauren Cook had the pleasure of reading to Ms. Zimmerman's kindergarten class in celebration of National Reading Day.
And if you'd like to help us say good morning, Maryland, just record a shout out. Send it to lauren.cook@WMAR.com.
It's going to be a busy week at the grocery store this week. If you've got some last-minute grocery shopping to do for your Super Bowl party, and you might need some ingredients for your signature dish.
Yeah, here's some ideas. Everybody's party is a little different, and Google recently went state by state to see what recipes people in that state are looking up. So in Maryland, our most searched recipe is, not surprising, crab dip.
Crab dip.
Massachusetts and Pennsylvania both searched for chili recipes the most. Some of the other recipes that popped up, Arizona residents, they look for green chicken enchilada recipes. In Alaska, they want to know how to make dill pickle dip with dried beef.
Why?
And in Illinois, they are bleeding green. They want to know how to make a good Philly cheesesteak. It all sounds good. Well, I don't know about, the pickle dip.
I could live without the pickle dip,
Maybe it's good. Who knows? All right, well, our furry friends, they're hosting their own sporting event on Super Bowl Sunday.
This is getting to be this big thing now. It's Puppy Bowl 14. This has been going on 14
years. It's been going on a little while.
Sunday on Animal Planet. The event features a new bone-shaped stadium, 90 dogs from all over the country. You know what? They've even brought in some dogs from Mexico for this thing. 48 different shelters are participating this year. Oh my gosh, they're pretty cute too. They're super cute. There's also going to be a special guest helping out on the show.
I've got a sloth as an assistant this year because I really needed help, and I decided to make it as difficult as possible by getting the slowest animal on the planet to be my assistant. Because why not? Let's up the comedy and the chaos, right?
I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. They just keep on topping themselves. The Dog Bowl, highlighting senior dogs, also looking for forever homes, is going to be Saturday on Animal Planet as well.
Yeah, so the Puppy Bowl, those dogs are up for adoption. Then you have really a senior bowl almost, you know.
It's terrific. And if it helps more dogs get adopted, you know, it's a win-win. 6:25 right now. We are continuing to follow all kinds of breaking news out of Baltimore. If you're just joining us, we hear what it sounded like when an underground fire broke out.
Plus, a young girl's bullying goes viral, but this morning, a Maryland woman is coming to her rescue. We'll share that story after the break.
Watching the station that works for you. Now, Good Morning Maryland.
Okay, welcome back in. We are continuing to follow breaking news this morning. Crews remain on the scene of a fire underground in downtown Baltimore, right in the middle of the city. It's a live look. An electrical fire broke out beneath a hotel on East Redwood Street at Charles Street around 2 o'clock this morning. That's the Delta Hotel. No one has been evacuated, but we're told that some guests on the scene there have been experiencing some trouble of carbon monoxide, potentially because of that incident down there. Around 5:30, the fire started popping from a manhole right at the scene there. Sounded like fireworks. Take a listen. Yeah, there's nothing good that can come from that. Fortunately, no one has been injured in this fire. We are told that BGE is planning to cut the power around the area, try to localize the problem and get it fixed. East Redwood Street remains closed there and is expected to stay closed through the morning rush hour. There could be problems on surrounding streets as well. We'll get a live report from Cassie Carlisle from the scene of that fire in about 15 minutes from now. Just about 6:30 on your Thursday. Good Morning Maryland. I'm Christian Schaefer.
And I'm Ashley James. With East Redwood shut down, many drivers will need to find another way to work. So we want to head over to Lauren Cook for the detours, you need to know about this morning. Lauren? Yes, Ashley, Christian, East Redwood Street will be shut down for an extended period of time. It's closed between Charles Street and Light Street. You will need to take either Lombard Street or Fayette Street. You can also avoid Charles Street by taking Calvert Street if you do need to travel northbound, but leave yourself extra time. Several roadways will be impacted by this fire. We'll bring you the very latest developments, of course, right here on Good Morning Maryland, as well as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. There's another fire in the city that shuts down Brunt Street between Pressman Street and Bloom Street. If you're traveling in Northeast Baltimore, beware of a crash on Sturbridge Drive near Laurelton Avenue. There's another accident on 83. This has been moved to the southbound shoulder near Warren Road. It's not causing any delays. The JFX is up to speed. 95 clear into Baltimore City. 695 is slowing down here in the west side outer loop at Liberty Road, showing just a 3-minute delay, though, from 795 to 95. There is a crash in Howard County westbound Interstate 70. The shoulder is blocked at Route 32. That's your Time Saver traffic.
All right, Lauren, let's take a look at what's going on this morning. We'll start you out with the radar, where we're nice and dry at this point. We do need some rain, and it will be in here as we head towards the evening. But your day today will stay on the drier side of things. We will have plenty of clouds around as well. Weather alerts still lingering around Anne Arundel County. That coastal flood advisory goes until 7 o'clock this morning. And in terms of temperatures, we are on the chilly side of things. These numbers are in the mid to upper 30s in most spots. But with the winds, we are feeling more like the upper 20s in a lot of spots. Here's that Parkville forecast for you, as high temperatures will get up to the upper 40s to low 50s today around Parkville, and more of the same as we head towards Ellicott City. We do have that rain on the way, and we're also going to be talking about some snow as well. Ashley, Christian.
All right, Lynette, thank you. Well, it's been one day of explosive testimony after another in the trial of two former Baltimore City police officers who worked for the department's gun trace task force.
On Wednesday, the jurors in the federal court in Baltimore heard from some former drug dealers. They testified in great detail under oath how the officers stole drugs and money from them. ABC 2 News' Megan Knight is here with a recap of that testimony.
Well, Christian, one of the former drug dealers who testified was Orese Stevenson. He says the officers with the gun trace task force arrested him for having drugs. Then they took his keys and went into his house for what they called a sneak and peek. And according to the testimony, the officers found $300,000 and 10 kilograms of cocaine in Stevenson's house. But they only submitted $200,000 and 8 kilos of the drugs to evidence. Stevenson's girlfriend also testifying yesterday, saying the GTTF officers stole clothes and watches from them, even ripped motion sensors off the walls. Defense attorney Ivan Bates represented both Stevenson and his girlfriend. He's also running for city state's attorney. Bates says he's been defending people against the GTTF since 2010.
There was a group of officers that did what they wanted to, and that they were unchecked, and that the system that was supposed to protect the citizens didn't, and it failed. And that here the federal government has had to pick up the pieces because the state's attorney's office wasn't able to do the job.
Now, the defense attorneys for Detectives Daniel Hersel and Marcus Taylor went after the credibility of those witnesses on the stand. One of them, Ronald Hamilton, just snapped during cross-examination, yelling in the courtroom, quote, "Everybody's life is destroyed because of this." The trial is continuing today, and Christian Ashley, the government says it may actually rest its case either today or tomorrow.
Yeah, it seems like every day is more shocking than the day before. All right, Megan, thank you. And ABC 2 News' Brian Kubler will be in the courtroom today following the corruption trial. For the very latest developments, follow him on Twitter. His handle is Brian from ABC 2. It is 6:33 new this morning. The monitoring team for Baltimore Police's consent decree set to meet with the judge tomorrow.
There's going to be a meeting like this each month, and then a series of 4 public hearings. The first of those set for April 13th. Now, at those hearings, they're going to focus on the first year of the consent decree plan and measure the police department's progress in implementing some of the reforms that are aimed at preventing abuses like the ones we're hearing about in federal court this week. The next meeting with that judge is set for March the 2nd.
A Maryland lawmaker has introduced a bill to help tenants struggling with unpaid rent stay out of jail. The state delegate proposed what's called the Jared Kushner Act. It prevents state judges from issuing arrest warrants for tenants being sued for less than $5,000 in unpaid rent. The law was named after President Trump's son-in-law because Kushner's apartment management company was the state's most aggressive landlord in obtaining civil arrest warrants against tenants. And dozens of Maryland residents and clean energy advocates are expected to rally in Annapolis. They're calling attention to a bill that could change which energy sources we use here in our state. It's called the 100% Clean Renewable Energy and Equity Act. The bill would require all of Maryland's electricity to come from clean sources by 2035. The rally is set for 12:30 outside of the State House.
The UMBC men's basketball team is going to debut their new facility on the weekend. Today, you can get your first look inside the $85 million event center. You can stop by between 4 and 8 o'clock. That is really something. Sneak peek at the 6,000-seat venue. They used to play in the rack, but that had gotten a little bit old, so now they got the new event center there. ABC 2 News' Sean Stepner will be there. The Retrievers will host Vermont at the new event center Saturday at 4 o'clock. 6:35 right now. The Super Bowl is almost here. A lot of people have already made their predictions.
And now April, the giraffe, is getting in on the guessing game who she thinks will win Super Bowl 52.
I'm going to write down what she says and see if she's right on Sunday. Plus, calling all drivers. If you got late unpaid parking tickets, you can pay that ticket without any extra fines, but you've only got a couple days to act. We'll have that story when we come back. It is 6:36 right now on The Button. Ashley, do you have your pick for Super Bowl 52?
Yeah, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Ashley's going for the Eagles. Well, now April the Giraffe is getting in on the action as well.
But April and I are not on the same page here.
Boy.
Okay, so you'll remember April the Giraffe. That's his pregnancy that was watched over live. It was live streaming last summer. Everyone was watching. The workers at the barn in New York where she stays put up 2 banners with lettuce on top. And April ate the lettuce on top of the Patriots banner, so now they think she's rooting for the Patriots. Maybe, maybe she does have a crush on Tom Brady.
She did not even look at the banners.
No.
She went straight for the lettuce. I'm not sure, I don't know if
it could be rigged. Maybe it was like a little bigger.
Maybe it was a better lettuce, that they put on the New England one. We know how those Patriots like to tip the scales in their favor from time to time.
Cheaters. All right, well, Ravens fans are looking forward to this weekend for another reason, because another legend could be selected to the Hall of Fame.
Former linebacker Ray Lewis going to find out Saturday whether he's heading to Canton on his first ballot. The resume, 17 years in the NFL, 13 Pro Bowls, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, and those 2 Super Bowl victories as well. We spoke with the former ABC2 News sports director Scott Garceau about Ray Lewis's chances. By the way, Scott is going to be the presenter for Ray Lewis to the rest of the Hall of Fame committee.
Ben Roethlisberger said, I felt like he was in our huddle. He said, I'd call an audible and Ray simultaneously would be yelling the play to his defense. He said, I don't know how he did it.
Yeah, that's a big deal on the Saturday before the Super Bowl when the Hall of Fame Selection Committee meets. That happens in Minnesota, the year where the Super Bowl is going to be played this year. Class of 2018 then will be announced that evening at a big banquet, and then they'll be inducted in August, and it would be shocking if Ray Lewis was not included in that group this year. We'll see.
We will see. That's right. All right, 6:41. We're following a wave of breaking news stories this morning in Baltimore, all happening right now.
Including that underground fire right in the middle of downtown Baltimore, causing all kinds of concerns. Look at that video and listen to that video. A live report from that scene coming up. Plus, Megan Knight is keeping an eye on several other breaking news stories, including a water rescue at the Inner Harbor near Barnes & Noble. The time is now 6:41 on a busy Thursday morning.
You're watching the station that works for you. Now, Good Morning Maryland.
It is 6:45. Welcome back to Good Morning Maryland. I'm Ashley James.
And I'm Christian Schaefer. We have crews covering a lot of breaking news this morning, including a fire affecting roads right in the middle of downtown Baltimore. We're going to get a live report with the latest from the scene. First, though, let's check in with Lauren, because Lauren, East Redwood Street still closed there near Charles.
Yes, Christian, Ashley, East Redwood Street will be shut down for an extended period of time. Right now, it's closed between South Charles Street and Light Street. Your best alternate routes will be either Lombard Street or Fayette Street. Big backups on Charles Street as well, so you might want to stick with Calvert Street to avoid the delays. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for updates throughout Good Morning Maryland and, of course, Good Morning America. Taking a look right now in West Baltimore, there is a 2-alarm house fire that has shut down Brunt Street between Pressman Street and Bloom Street. You can take Edding Street as your alternate route or Pennsylvania Avenue. Taking a look right now at the speed check into downtown. Very minor delays southbound 95 at the Fort McHenry Tunnel Toll Plaza. 83 is clear. There was an earlier accident southbound at Warren Road. That is no longer impacting the commute. The Beltway slowing down on the outer loop at Harford Road, but the main concern will be the west side, showing right now a 6-minute delay to travel from 795 to 95. There's a crash in Northeast Baltimore, Sturbridge Drive near Laurelton Avenue, and in Howard County, there's an overturned vehicle in Jessup. Avoid Washington Boulevard near Assateague Drive. Stick with 95 instead. Here's Lynette with a check of the forecast.
All right, Lauren, we'll start you out with these temperatures this morning. Coming in the 30s, we have the upper 30s. You can see as we head further off to the south there around Glen Burnie. We're going to continue with some changes as we go through the rest of today as well, meaning that we're dry now, but oh yeah, the rain's going to be moving in, and that is a good thing because we actually do need the rain. As we go into tomorrow morning, that rain could switch over to a little bit of a wintry mix out there, so we're going to continue to keep our eye on that. That possibility is there. I'm going to show you all that in a matter of moments. With the winds, those 30s feeling like the 20s this morning, so you do need to bundle up. The winds out of the south, so a different direction than yesterday morning at this time. Out of the south at about 5 to 15 miles an hour at this point, and with that, we do feel more like the upper 20s. We feel like 30 right now in Columbia. It feels like 26 in Easton and also Aberdeen. this morning. Radar and satellite composite not picking up on a whole lot in the way of rain and the way of snow. That's off to the north of us. But if we did have anything, it's going to be more in the form of rain coming in here as we go into the afternoon. So high pressure will continue to work its way off to the east, and that's why we're going to continue with the return flow, that southerly flow happening for today. You see that cold front back off towards the west. That's going to be a player in the game, pun intended, as we head through the next several days here. So we can see what's going on for today, for tonight. That rain moves in around 7 o'clock this evening and then may switch over to a little bit of a wintry mix tomorrow morning. The good news is that temperatures are going to be warming up today, so not a whole lot of sticking on the roadways for your tomorrow. But again, just keep it tuned here. There may be a few icy spots, so just take that for yourselves as you go through the rest of today. We will start to see those changes, but also we have those changes as we go into Sunday as well. So unfortunately, if you do have plans for Super Bowl, this is what we're talking. We do have another mix coming in here. Looks like it switches all over to rain as we go into your afternoon. But once again, at this point, we're going to continue to track to see if the low actually phases with this low up here. If not, again, we're going to be on the iffy side of things. But again, we're going to keep you posted on what's going on. Ashley, Christian.
All right, Lynette, thank you. 6:48. It's time now for your morning sprint. The stories you need to know to get you through your day.
We are following several different breaking news stories at this hour. We got a water rescue in downtown Baltimore, a shooting, multiple fires. We're going to start with Cassie Carlisle, who's live at the scene of that underground electrical fire in downtown Baltimore. Cassie, we're hearing there's also some issues with carbon monoxide down there.
Yeah, there was an issue with carbon monoxide. It was detected in very high levels at the Delta Hotel around the corner. We're over here on Charles Street and Lombard, and I'll give you an idea of what it looks like right now. It's actually calmed down. A big BG&E truck just came through, and we've seen men over the manhole that we have been focused on all morning. Take a listen to what it sounded like about an hour and a half ago when we pulled up. Just thunderous booms coming through, sounding like firecrackers coming through your feet, through your chest. It actually kept the lights on the street popping, so the lights would turn on and turn off. We did have a concern earlier about power outages in the area. So far, we haven't had any trouble at all. Officials say that this road will open after rush hour, so in about a couple hours, and the carbon monoxide levels are being monitored by fire crews at the Delta Hotel on every single floor this morning. Reporting live in downtown Baltimore, Cassie Carlisle, ABC 2 News.
All right, Cassie, thank you. And for the latest news, whenever it breaks, download the ABC 2 News app. It sends breaking news alerts straight to your smartphone. Just search WMAR in your phone's app store.
Some more infrastructure problems in downtown Baltimore, but that fire is not the only thing happening right now in Baltimore City.
Yeah, there's a lot going on this morning. There's another fire as well as a shooting and a water rescue. ABC 2 News' Megan Knight is live in the newsroom with more on these breaking news stories. Megan?
Well, Ashley, busy this morning in Baltimore. Yeah, we're going to start with that 2-alarm fire in West Baltimore because Baltimore Fire actually just tweeted some new pictures from the scene. This fire breaking out on Brunt Street right near Pressman Street. They say that fire was coming from several floors of the row home. Fortunately, no one was hurt. We don't know yet if this was a vacant home or if someone lived there, managed to get out. We're working to get more details on that fire. Of course, we'll bring them to you as we get them. Also, Baltimore police investigating a shooting. This in East Baltimore on North Milton Street, right between Lafayette Street and North Avenue. We still don't know at this point how many people were shot or what their conditions are at this time. And some new information for you concerning that water rescue right near the Inner Harbor. Dive teams were called to the scene along East Pratt Street, right near the Barnes & Nobles building there, for reports that somebody fell in. We've been getting reports that that person is now out of the water and has been taken to shock trauma, but we don't have any conditions as of right now. So to follow all these breaking news stories and get the updates on them, we encourage you to follow us on social media, especially Twitter at ABC2 News. We've also posted the video that Cassie showed you from near the Delta Hotel on Redwood Street, all that popping that was coming from the manhole there. You can find that on ABC2 News on Twitter as well. Christian and Ashley.
ABC2's Megan Knight, thanks very much. Well, if you've got any overdue unpaid parking tickets, Baltimore is stepping in to help.
Yeah, Mayor Catherine Pugh has announced an amnesty program that will forgive those late fees. ABC2 News' Chanel Perriman is live in Hamden. Chanel, how does this program work?
Well, Ashley's for 2 days only, today and tomorrow. You'll be able to pay off those tickets without having to worry about those late fees. Right now, there are about 500,000 unpaid parking tickets right here in Baltimore. Now, if you are looking to take advantage of this, you'll be able to pay online, in the mail, or over the phone. Now, the city hasn't offered something like this in 15 years. Back in 2003, about 1/3 of those unpaid parking tickets cashed in on this deal, and the city was able to make about $3.9 million in revenue. Now, this program won't cover all penalties. It won't cover things like bad checks, towing, or booting. It will just be able to waive that late fee. But again, you have 2 days to take advantage of this opportunity. Live in Hampton, Chanel Pearman, ABC 2 News.
Okay, Chanel, thanks very much for that. It is 6:52 right now. Last week, we told you about the Jewish school in Pikesville that had fired a rabbi who had been accused of sexual abuse. Now that rabbi, Stephen Krawatsky, is suing the Beth Aphilah school and the parents of his accusers. Krawatsky is accused of abusing 2 boys at a camp in Frederick County. The New York Jewish Week published those allegations initially, and Krawatsky was fired a day later. He continues to deny those allegations. Maryland State Delegate Rick Impalaria has introduced a bill that would let certain select public school employees carry firearms on school property. He says the goal would be to minimize or prevent the loss of life during school shootings. That recent shooting in Kentucky, he says, is an example of gun violence. Impalaria represents portions of Harford County. That bill is getting pushed back. The Harford County Board of Education president said he would never support that type of legislation. 6:53 now, a local business owner is stepping in to help a young woman who was bullied by her classmates in a video that's gone viral.
Yeah, here's the clip that was retweeted more than 32,000 times. It shows Lauren Williams being targeted by her classmates at a Tennessee high school. Someone ripped her wig off as a joke. This boy took a bet for $5. Now, she suffers from eczema and psoriasis and has patches of missing hair because he pulled this wig off.
They all got together and just planned to humiliate her, and that was funny to them. And to me, it's not funny. It's not a joke.
She ended up going on to just shave her head. Now, Stephanie Nolan from Maryland, she's a hair entrepreneur who sells extensions and creates custom wigs for herself. And Nolan saw what happened to Lauren on social media. She wanted to help, so she's donating a wig. Stephanie says Lauren should receive the package today. The hair on the wig should last for 5 years or more.
It's a nice gesture to step up like that.
It is 6:54. Governor Larry Hogan wants to fight violent crime by passing tougher minimum sentences.
Made that statement yesterday during his State of the State address in Annapolis. He's also urging the General Assembly to pass reform legislation on how the state draws its congressional and state legislative maps. The governor says he would sign legislation to end parental rights of rapists over children conceived through rape. He called for lawmakers to work from both parties to work together in that State of the State address as well.
6:55 today, the White House will likely release the Republican memo that accuses the FBI of abusing its power and spying on a Trump campaign worker. That's according to Reuters. Republicans on the House Intelligence Committee wrote the memo. They voted to release it, and Democrats fought it, saying it had factual errors. Adam Schiff, the top-ranking Democrat in the House Intelligence Committee, is accusing Republicans of secretly changing the memo before they sent it to the White House.
Maryland's former U.S. attorney under fire now from President Trump. According to CNN, the president reportedly asked if Rod Rosenstein was, quote, on my team when special counsel Robert Mueller was questioning him for the Russia investigation. This reportedly happened during a meeting in December where Rosenstein was at the White House for a meeting about fighting requests for documents.
All right, we want to get one last check of your traffic and weather before you head out the door.
And we're going to start with Lauren, who's tracking some of the road closures caused by that fire in downtown Baltimore.
Yes, Ashley, Christian, East Redwood Street remains shut down between Charles Street and Light Street. It will be closed through the morning rush, if not longer. You will need to take either Lombard Street or Fayette Street. Avoid Charles Street also. Take Calvert Street if you are traveling northbound. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for updates throughout Good Morning America. A 2-alarm house fire in West Baltimore closes Brun Street between Pressman Street and Bloom Street. You can use Edding Street or Pennsylvania Avenue instead. 95 South jammed at Moravia Road. No problems on 83. 695 is slowing down. That's where you'll find the worst congestion. The outer loop in Parkville, 24 miles per hour at Harford Road. The west side clocks in at 18 miles per hour on the outer loop of Baltimore National Pike. Right now, traveling from 795 to 95 will take 20 minutes. That is a 9-minute delay. There's a crash in Gwen Oak, Windsor Mill Road, right at Oak Drive, and more problems in Glen Burnie, where an accident has just been reported on Quarterfield Road at Thelma Avenue. Here's Lynette with the check of the forecast.
All right, Lauren, and we'll start you out with those temperatures this morning. Upper 30s in Easton and also Fulton, even around Gwen Oak this morning. The winds out of the south at about 5 to 15 miles an hour, so those upper 30s, definitely feeling more like we are in the upper 20s this morning. So you do need to bundle up as you head out and about. But check this out. As we go through the afternoon, temperatures will be in the upper 40s to low 50s for today. And by the evening time frame, going to usher in some rain, and that could switch over to a little bit of a wintry mix by tomorrow morning. It will be out by the afternoon. And then by Saturday, we dry things out. And then by Sunday, another wintry mix going to be coming in here. So if you do have those Super Bowl plans, definitely keep it tuned here. And then Monday morning, we could have that wintry mix starting off. And then temperatures will try to bump back up to more seasonal levels by next week. Ashley, Christian.
Okay, Lynette, thanks very much. That's all the time we have here, but we'll continue to update those breaking news stories for you on abc2news.com throughout the morning.
Yeah, now it's time to send things up to Good Morning America live in New York. We want to thank you so much for watching. And again, we'll have those updates in your local cut-ins. Have a great day.